Well, now the British press, as the TV news, the newspapers, all the rest of them, have got a lot to answer for. They have actually created, or potentially are going to create, a fuel shortage, because they reported that some petrol stations had run out of petrol, which happens anyway. And so everybody was queuing up for fuel. Now there's a bit of a queue going on in there. I'm going to ride past a few petrol stations. And see what they look like. Yeah, there's a fair old queue at that one. There is actually no shortage of fuel. The issue that we seem to have in the UK at the moment is idiots who believe everything they see on the TV news, and a bit of a shortage of tanker drivers, because not only have they got to have an HGV, a heavy goods vehicle class 1 licence, but they have to have another ticket, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's for the transit of dangerous goods such as flammable fuels, chemicals and all the rest of it. So not only are we short of goods vehicle drivers, but we're short of goods vehicle drivers with that additional qualification. But there is no shortage of fuel. If people just carried on as normal, nobody would ever run out. Fortunately, all of my vehicles are actually well fueled up. And all but one of them are pretty economical as well, so I'm not desperate to get fuel in the very near future. So I'm going to ride past a handful of fuel stations, petrol stations, a couple of supermarkets. Then I'm probably going to go and have a bit of lunch. I'll be proved wrong now. There'll be no queues in any of them. Well, the first one had a few anyway, but the last couple of days they've been queuing on the road around the corner. And people with like 60-70 litre capacity tanks have been queuing up to put 5 litres in. Absolutely crazy. But then we had the same thing a little while back when COVID kicked in with toilet rolls, and that's even worse. Pardon the pun, but if shit comes to shove and you've run out of toilet roll, you can use a newspaper, junk mail, your socks. I mean, there's 1,001 ways you can wipe your ass. But no, all these people went out and they panic bought all this toilet roll. Well, they're not queuing to go into that supermarket. I don't know whether I can see over the wall here. I'll be able to see through the fence. No, that's not too bad. Maybe it's calmed down. It's a Sunday, maybe they're all in church. I kind of doubt that. There you go, I've just flicked through the display. And apparently this thing's averaging 73.2 to the gallon. That's not bad. I normally leave it switched on the tachometer. I've got no idea why. Just habit, I guess. You don't really need to. You can feel and hear what this bike's up to. But I've always sort of ridden bikes on the tachometer. This is one you don't need to. And to be honest, my other bike, my CCM's very similar. You can hear and feel when it wants a gear, lower or higher. Right, there's another petrol station up here, non-supermarket. And there appear to be no queues there either. Of course, it might be closed. There's no cars there. Sorry, I'll keep using this bike until it runs out of fuel. The other one's full of fuel. My cars are full of fuel. That's only because that's the kind of habit I'm in, of keeping everything full of fuel. Because I've not done any panic buying. I haven't bought fuel for the last thing was this thing, and it was maybe a week ago. There's a few people out and about for a Sunday. I guess the weather's not bad. Pubs are open, shops are open. So they've got every right to be out and about. And I'm out and about anyway. Right, I had some interference on this new microphone, which I've moved the position of it. It's now actually attached in the chin vent of my helmet. But I was getting interference on it, so there's going to be an element of experimenting going on. I've actually blocked the chin vent off on the outside. I've put a piece of tape over it to try and stop any external noise getting in. But it is right in front of my mouth. The previous microphone, the one that broke on me, was actually mounted to one side. Plus I'm using a different camera. The camera that I'm using on my helmet now is a GoPro Hero 5 Session. The one that I was using previously was a GoPro Hero 4, the standard camera, the big camera. And I've just moved up to aluminium cases for them as well, just in case anything falls off and bounces up the road, just give it a bit more protection. And to be honest, that does put a little bit of weight on it. So that's why I've moved to the smaller camera. And I had a right royal job as well getting it to be okay with audio. I had to backdate the firmware on it, would you believe? Which was a whole load of time mucking about on Google, finding out what to do and how to do it. Now then, to the right up here there's a big Tesco petrol station. The other day they were queuing all the way up here. I should think everybody's full of fuel now, and we're pretty much back to normal. I'd hope so anyway. I'm just going to skip up the motorway 1 junction and go past the Sainsbury's petrol station. They're not queuing there today. I'm right by the shopping centre here, which of course is open on a Sunday, so that's why there's a little bit of traffic floating around. Sainsbury's petrol station is behind all those trees there. I'll just swing up the road and have a look. I don't need any, I've got a full tank. Well, it's probably not quite full, but the gauge is saying it's full. I think they might have run out of fuel, you know, these places that don't look very busy. Yep, that's closed, they've run out of fuel. Just gonna go in here and tweak my mirror. I've actually got a jerry can in my garage with petrol in it, which is from a lawnmower. So if I got that desperate, I could pinch that. I'm going to be in the garage a bit this coming week. I believe the weather's not going to be so great. And I want to have a go at tucking the rear indicators in on this, so I might do an actual video of me working on the bike. I mean, it's all pretty simple, straightforward stuff, to be honest. It's taking the back end off of this so I can get at the indicators, and I'm either going to narrow the bracket or remount them. But I'm kind of growing to like the original Triumph indicators. That they're okay, and the great thing is other road users can see them, so I'm not getting wiped out every 5 seconds, or nearly wiped out. So much as I like the tiny little LED lighters that you indicators that you can get, I'm sort of edging towards keeping the standard ones. The fronts don't bother me at all, they're fine. It's just the rear ones, because I've got the Lucas look-alike tail light. The rear ones at the moment look a little bit like Shrek's ears, so it'd be nice to just tuck them in a bit more. And I think I've worked out how I can do that. So anyway, when the weather's shite, which I believe it's going to be, that may well be what I get up to this coming week, in between work and feeding the cats and all the other crap I've got to do.